Guys, I got a question for y'all. Could Chuck Wood? I mean, I think Chuck Wood could. I mean, he could do a lot of things. And that one thing is what Chuck Wood would do. He can do it, but Chuck Wood. See, the goal here is to Chuck Wood. So I think that Chuck Wood, because, I mean, even if it's like a little tiny twig, he would still Chuck Wood. Because, I mean, like, like this desk right here. This is wood, alright? I would not chuck this, but Chuck would chuck that wood. So, like, would Chuck Wood? I mean, a woodchuck, chuck wood. Chucking wood. Woodchucking Chuck Wood. But woodchuck Chuck Wood. Chuck woodchuck wood. Like, I mean, a woodchuck chucks wood. So, if Chuck Wood is related to a woodchuck, would Chuck Wood chuck wood? I mean, woodchucks chuck wood for a living, don't they? That's their whole entire purpose. So, Chuck Wood. I mean, like, again, Chuck Wood. I mean, if you don't get me wrong here, Chuck Wood. Am I right? I'm right, Chuck Wood. It's highly debatable. It's just something to think about, Just Woodchuck Wood. I think Chuck Wood would. Chuck Wood should chuck wood. But woodchuck wood? Wood would chuck wood. So, while wood is chucking Chuck Wood, then Chuck would chuck wood. And the wood would be chucking wood. And that wood would be chucking wood. So if that wood were to chuck the other wood, that would mean that, they're both chucking, they're all chucking wood. Like, all five of them. They're all chucking wood. And that's good, that's good. Chuck Wood is chucking wood. I'm feeling good for him. Chucking wood is okay. But I mean, when Chuck Wood chucks wood, I feel like Chuck could. Chuck should, and Chuck could chuck wood. Because Chuck Wood can chuck wood. So there's two Chuck Woods, right? If that Chuck Wood chucks another wood, then would Chuck chuck wood? I think that Chuck Wood would chuck wood. So that means that leading up to that would make Chuck Wood turn into a chucking wood. I'm not trying to bring any swears, family-friendly YouTube channel. But I mean, would Chuck Wood? I mean, I think Chuck would. Chuck Wood can. Yeah, it's just that, though. It's that going through my head. Just Chuck Wood. I mean, I want y'all to leave a comment down below. Would Chuck Wood? I think Chuck would. Chuck would chuck wood. But Chuck Wood could chuck wood. But, no. That'd be Chuck Wood would chuck wood. Meaning that Chuck Wood could only chuck a woodchuck. See what I'm going here? So if that Chuck Wood were chucking wood, then that would make the woodchuck completely normal. It's chucking wood. It's chucking wood. So I mean, Chuck Wood. I mean, honestly, Chuck is just Chuck. Chuck would chuck wood. I mean, honestly, if I were to tell you one thing, Chuck would chuck wood. And I mean that. So when I tell you Chuck would chuck wood, Chuck would chuck wood. So I'm not lying, alright? So you can go ahead and spam about how Chuck is not chucking wood, but Chuck is chucking wood. Alright, again, going back to the topic. Would Chuck wood? I don't know. chuck wood. Woodchuck wood. I think. I don't know. Again, it's just something to think about. Woodchuck wood. Woodchuck should chuck wood. So there's 2 chuck woods. No, we should make it 3 chuck woods. So now we have 3 chuck woods. So woodchuck chuck wood, chucking a woodchuck, and the woodchuck is chucking chuck wood, which means chuck wood, woodchuck, chuck wood. But I know that equations it's unequal. You know, we got a chuck wood, woodchuck, chuck wood, and then another chuck wood. So it's uneven on the woodchuck side. But I mean, I think a chuck wood would chuck wood. I mean, personally, just what I'm thinking. I mean, chuck wood. I'm sure Chuck Wood has chucked wood in his life, maybe just for fun or something else. I mean, Chuck wood. He would. Definitely, he would. Utterly, forever chuck wood. I mean, he's a chucking chuck wood. He chucks wood for a chucking chuck. Sounded kind of gay. I mean, Chuck Wood. Chuck Wood would literally just grab Chuck Wood. Chuck him. Yeah, that's right. He wouldn't throw him. No, he's not no ordinary guy. He'd chuck it. I mean, that's... Woodchucks can chuck wood, and Chuck Wood can chuck wood. So wouldn't that make woodchucks and chuck wood like woodwoods? Or would it just be chucks? Woodchucks and chuck woods are like, if you combine them two, because they're both 2 words, it would just make up the same word twice. Like chuck, wood. I mean, wood, chuck. Chucking, chucking wood. I think it would. But, you know, I mean, wood, chuck, wood. Again, I mean, like, chuck wood. I mean, it's obvious. Stop saying that I'm wrong. It's obviously chuck wood. So, the answer to this equation is chuck wood. But there's another question still on my wood. There's another question on my mind. Would a woodchuck chuck wood? I think that Chuck would chuck a woodchuck. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. My 2 subscribers. Chucking wood is just, you know, you gotta chuck wood for a living. And that's what Chuck Wood does. But that would mean that there's 4 Chuck Woods. Alright? So if we take 4 Chuck Woods, and then we make them all chuck wood, chucking woodchucks, so that make Chuck Wood, chucking a woodchuck, chucking a woodchuck, and then chucking a chuck wood, and then chucking a woodchuck, and then chucking a chuck wood, and then chucking a woodchuck, and then chucking a chuck wood. So, I mean, it's obviously an easy equation here. There'd be 4 chuck woods, and, I mean, in conclusion here, guys, chuck wood, but wood, yeah, a woodchuck would chuck wood. I mean, woodchucks chuck wood, so, and a chuck wood, and chuck wood, chuck wood. So, that makes their roles, like, completely the same. They're both chucking wood. And, like, it's crazy, guys, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's just something to think about. Whenever you're bored, just think about chucking wood. Chucking wood, and then would woodchuck come along, or would Chuck Wood come along and chuck wood with you? Alright, tune in again with some, have a good day.